Hello students, welcome back to another live session here at ODA Class. My name is Mitali and kids, today I will be introducing you to this concept called modal verbs. Before we get started with that students, I want to take this chance to introduce myself and this app that we are about to learn about. It's called the ODA Class app, and kids, as you can see, it is a live learning app where you get to come on the app and learn with us directly online and ask your questions to all of us master teachers. And kids, our ODA teachers team has created a course that's only for you. And we call this our concept crash course. Now it will start on Monday. And students, as part of this course, you will have a total of 6 classes. So it will be for 1 week. And in these 6 classes, kids, you will have 3 maths as well as 3 science. Now, these will all be conducted by our group of master teachers like me. And students, apart from this, you will also have access to one more person, another teacher who is going to be your personal mentor teacher. Now, this person will help you throughout the week, right? Whether you have doubts in the class, whether you forget that you have class today, or whether it's your doubts as you go through the homework or the quizzes or the modules and the books that we will provide to you for your extra support and extra help. So whenever you need help, students, whenever you need support, all you have to do is reach out to your mentor teacher and they will be there with you. Now, kids, to enroll in this course, you can simply click on the link in the description box below and enroll for rupees 29, 39 or 49, depending only on your grade. Tell you a little bit more about this course later, students. But for now, let me introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Mitali Joshi. You can call me Mitali, ma'am, students. I graduated from Ohio State University, and I am currently an English master teacher here at ODA Class. Now, before we start talking about what exactly modal verbs are, students, let us first understand why do we even need them, or what do they do? And let's do this by taking a look at 2 sentences. Okay. Our first sentence is I swim every Tuesday. Sentence number 2 is I can swim every Tuesday. So both of these students are grammatically correct sentences, right? The difference is only in the meaning that they convey. So think about it, kids. I'll give you a few seconds. Think about it. What is the difference between I swim every Tuesday and I can swim every Tuesday? Excuse me. There is only one main difference, students, and that is that sentence number 1, right? I swim every Tuesday is a factual statement. It is something that already happens, and all I'm doing is letting you know about it. Now, sentence number 2, on the other hand, students, right? What does it do? It shows us a possibility or a capability. So when we say, I can swim every Tuesday, what I'm trying to say is that it's possible that I can swim every Tuesday. It does not happen right now, but there is a possibility or that I have the capability to be able to swim every Tuesday. So kids, this brings us to what exactly are modal verbs, right? We've never heard this word before, probably. So let's learn. We use modal verb, students, to simply express a possibility or a necessity. So earlier when we said, I can swim every Tuesday, what are we doing, students? We are using the word can, our modal verb can, to show a possibility or a capability. Let's see this in some more examples, students. My baby sister should be asleep by now. Now here, once again, there is a modal verb. You may not know what the modal verb is, students, so let me explain to you, okay? The modal verb in this sentence over here is should. Once again, what does should express? It expresses a possibility, right? It is likely that my sister is asleep by now, but we don't know for sure. So we are using this word should to show a possibility that it's possible, but also it may not be true. Let's take one more example, kids. The next example here is it might rain tomorrow. So what does this do? Here our modal verb is might. And what does this verb do, students? Once again, we are using it to show a possibility. We are saying that it might rain tomorrow, but it also might be sunny. We don't know. It is possible that it will rain tomorrow, right? Excuse me, but we do not know for sure. Now, as far as the meanings of these particular modal verbs go, students, I do not want you to worry about it. In today's lesson, we will learn what are modal verbs, some of the most important characteristics of modal verbs, and also how to use them in the different tenses. Students, in my next video, I will be talking to you about the specific modal verbs, okay? These ones right here. These are the most frequently used modal verbs. I'm sure that you have read all of these words before, right? You may not know that they are modal verbs and what their usage exactly is. No worries, kids, I'm here to help you out. So come back to the next video if you want to learn about the uses of these specific modal verbs. But for now, kids, let's move on and let's understand the characteristics and how to use our modal verbs. Now, moving on, students, another example. Tell me here, which one is correct? The students must the class, or is it number two? The students must attend the class. Tell me, kids, which out of these two sentences is grammatically correct? So the one that is correct, students, of course, is sentence number two, right? The students must the class makes absolutely no sense. They must what the class, right? That's what you would ask. On the other hand, the students must attend the class. It is clear, right, exactly which action I am saying that the students must do. So what does this bring us to, students? It tells us that, first of all, modal verbs can never be used on their own, right? So the students must the class makes no sense, even though must is a modal verb. What about here? My keys, once again, are modal verb must. My keys must in the car. Does this sentence make any sense at all, students? My keys must in the car. This sentence makes no sense. That is because it is missing the main verb, right? It's missing the main verb, which we also call the principal verb. So my keys must be in the car. Now that we have added, right? Now that we have added our main, our principal verb, now the sentence makes sense, right? My keys must be in the car, or the students must attend the class. So remember, kids, modal verbs can never be used on their own. So they always need a main or a principal verb. Now, there are two more very, very important characteristics of modal verbs that I want you all to know. Okay. And the first one out of these is that they do not change with the number or the person of the subject. Okay. Do not at all get confused by this, students. I will make it super easy for you. Okay. But characteristic number two is that they are always read with the bare infinitive. Once again, do not worry, students, by what this means. I will explain it to you. Okay. Starting off with our characteristic number one. What does it mean that a modal verb does not change depending on the number and the person of the subject? Now, I am sure that you all know what is the subject in a sentence, correct? If you don't know, and if you are still confused about that, you can go back to my previous video titled Bits and Pieces of a Sentence and learn, first of all, what the subject is, and then come back here, students. So the subject, right, is the performer of the action. So the subject can be singular or plural. As you know, kids, we have learned about pronouns as well. Once again, go back to the previous video, kids, if you don't know pronouns. As far as singular go, correct? We have I for the speaker, for the first person, you for the second person. That is the person that is being spoken to. So right now, I am the first person, I am the speaker. All of you students are the second person or second people, right? Because you are the ones that I am talking to. So notice here, singular and plural, our pronoun remains the same. But all of this brings us to one thing, students, which is that our modal verb does not change whether we use a singular or a plural noun or pronoun. And it also does not change whether we are talking in the first person, second person, or third person. You might still be confused, so let me show you with an example, students, what exactly this means. Right? Earlier, we learned that can is one of the most important modal verbs. Correct? So let's take that example. Let's understand this, students. Notice that my modal verb can remains the same. I can swim. You can swim. My sister can swim. I can even say my whole family can swim. Okay? So notice, kids, first person, second person, third person. No matter who I am talking about, right? And no matter if it is a singular or a plural subject, my modal verb remains the same. Is this clear to you all, students? This is one of the most important things to remember about modal verbs. They don't change form, which means all we have to do is remember the modal verbs and their uses, and we are set. So let's see, students. Before I introduce to you characteristic number 2, I want you all to intuitively look at it. I must to bring her a present. I must bring her a present. Tell me, kids, out of these two, which one is correct? Is it number 1, I must to bring her a present? Or is it number 2, I must bring her a present? So, kids, here, number 2 once again is correct. And why is that? Excuse me, there's only one difference between number 1 and number 2, which is this word to, right? And kids, this is what is going to make the biggest difference when we are using modals. Okay, let's see why. It's because, students, like I mentioned earlier, we use modal verbs with the bare infinitive. But what is the bare infinitive? It is simply the form of the verb without the word to. So, for example, we have swim, we have call, talk, listen, study, dream, sleep, absolutely any action that you can perform, right? But without the word to in it. That's all that we need to know about bare infinitives. And remember that we always pair our modals with bare infinitives. So, for example, here, I can listen to my sister talk all day. Notice here, kids, we have not used to over here, right? We have used the bare infinitive form over here. That's why we don't use the word to. We simply use, the bare infinitive, which is the verb itself. So now, tell me here, I had to attend the party versus I had attend the party. Tell me which one is correct, students. I had to attend the party versus I had attend the party. Now here, kids, it's very clear, right? Number 1 is correct. I had to attend the party. I had attend the party does not make a lot of sense. So here is what we need to remember, students, that out of all of our modal verbs, correct? Out of all of them, only case where we do not use the bare infinitive, which means the only place that we want to use the word to is number 1, has to, have to, or had to. Number 2, used to. So, for example, I used to run marathons when I was younger, right? I wouldn't say I used run marathons when I was younger. I used to run marathons when I was younger. Let's take one more example, students. All right, tell me here. We have wait for our boss to reach the office. We have wait for our boss to reach the office. Is this sentence correct? Is something missing in it? Is there something wrong in the sentence? Tell me, kids. And the correct answer here, students, is that we have to use the word to. Remember, right? with has, have, and had, we want to use the word to. With all of our other models, we do not want to use the word to. Okay, let's try one more question, students. Tell me. She can to speak 3 European languages. She can to speak 3 European languages. Is this correct? Should we change something about it? What do we change about it? Simply get rid of this word to, right? Remember, with can is one of our modal verbs with which we always use the bare infinitive. So once we get rid of this word to, we are good. She can speak 3 European languages. That is correct. So kids, I hope this is all clear to you. So far we have learned that modal verbs are used to show possibility or necessity. We learn that they do not change their form, whether they are used with, second person singular, third person plural, or first person singular or plural. We also learn, students, that they are used with the bare infinitive, except for has to and used to. I hope this is all clear to you all, students, because next I will be showing you how to use modals in the three tenses. Like I said, we will learn about the specific modal verbs and their uses in the next video. For now, students, let's understand how to use them in our sentences. Okay, starting off with the simple present tense. We have already seen plenty of examples for this, correct? I can eat an entire pizza. So what have we done here, students? Subject, I. Modal verb, can. And main verb, which is eat. So this is how we simply form a simple present tense sentence where we are using a modal verb. Okay? Subject, modal, and then main verb. Now, when we are asking a question, okay? When we ask a question, we have to flip two things. So we first bring our modal verb, and then, students, we use the subject, and then we use our main verb. Okay? First, we use the modal verb, then we use our subject, and then the main verb. So here you have your modal verb can, we have our subject you, and then we have our main verb, which is eat. All right. So now, kids, moving on to our next one. As you can see here, modal, subject, and then main verb. Remember, kids, this is the only difference, right? Sentences, subject, modal, and main verb. Questions are modal, then subject, and then main verb. Okay, so this was our first tense. Moving on to the second tense, students, let's talk about the present continuous tense. Okay, in the present continuous tense, as you can see, we might be going on a vacation next week. So what is it, students? What have we done here? Let's notice, okay? We have our subject here. Let's write this down. Next, we have our modal. Then, students, notice this word be that we have used. Okay? This word be. And then we have used the ing form of the main verb. So here we have it. We have our modal, should. Then we have this word be. And then we have the main verb in the ing form. Okay? For example, I should be going. I should not be singing so loudly at night, right? Now, students, this is all we have for the present tense. Let's talk about the past tense very quickly, okay? The past tense, students, we use the same thing for the most part, except that there are two verbs, two of our modals, right? Can, which has a past form could, and will, which has the past form would. Now, we will talk about these uses. Like I said, I will explain to you how to use them. For now, remember, students, that in the past tense, we will use could and would instead of using can and will. Let's see an example, students, right? I could do a handstand when I was a kid. So I am trying to show you that this, right, was an ability that I used to have at some point in time. I could do a handstand when I was a kid. One more example, right? I could be working right now. This brings us into our past continuous tense, students. I could be working right now. And if you notice, it is the same exact form as our present continuous with only one little difference. And that difference is this. Instead of the modal verb, we will almost always use either could or would. Okay? As far as modal verbs in the past tense go, students, these are the ones that you will use most likely and most commonly. So, could or would, followed by the same word be, which we used in the present continuous tense, and then once again our main verb, ing form. I'm sure you all know, students, every time you see this word continuous, you know that you have to use ing at the end of your verb. All right, so we have learned about our simple present, simple past, present continuous, and past continuous. So now, kids, let's move on to our next, which is going to be the future tenses, right? Let's see an example. I will go to the mall tonight. Okay, this is so simple, kids. You think about it. Can you make any one sentence in the future tense? I will go to the mall tonight. I have an exam tomorrow, right? My friends will come over tomorrow. What do you notice here? It is that this verb, right, will, is present in future tense sentences a lot and already, right? So what does this mean? It means that most future tenses, right, already use modals because they already use this word will, right? I will do this, she will do that, they will listen to us. So we are already using a modal verb, which is will over here, right? And as far as our formula, as far as using it in a sentence goes, students, it is identical to the simple present tense. So when we saw this example here, right, I will go to the mall tonight. What have we done here? Subject plus modal verb plus main verb, right? So it's the same thing that we do for our simple present tense. Follow the same for our future tense as well. Let's take one more example though, kids. He can hang out with you tomorrow. So what have we done here? As you saw, modal followed by the bare infinitive. We have our subject, modal, and the bare infinitive, which is hang. All right, kids, let's take a look at an example as well. Just like with simple present tense, in the future tense, we do the same thing. First, we have our modal verb, followed by our subject, followed by our main verb. So, students, we have learned a lot today. I hope it's all clear to you all and you have taken careful notes because now it is time to revise. As always, let us start our quizzes with a very simple question. Okay? Are modal verbs the same as main verbs? Tell me, kids, are modal verbs the same as main verbs? I hope you know, students, that the answer is no. Modal verbs are not the same as main verbs. In fact, we always need a main verb when using a modal verb. I hope that you all remember this, kids. Remember that modal verbs are not the same as main verbs. We need a main verb every time that we use a modal verb. Question number 2. Can we use the same modal verb with different pronouns? What do you think, students? Do we use or can we use the same modal verb with different pronouns? And the answer is yes. Yes, of course we can, students. Remember that the form, right, of our modal verbs does not change, no matter the person or the number of the subject. Okay, kids, now moving on. My father blank all day if needed. And here is the modal verb to be used, can, and the main verb to be used, which is work. What do we do here, kids? First of all, we identify simple present tense, right? So we say simply, we will use our modal verb. My father can work all day if needed. Modal followed by the bare infinitive. Let's try one more, okay? It blank in Japan right now. What about this one, students? The modal verb to be used is might, and the main or the action verb is rain. So this is actually a little bit trickier, students. This is in the present continuous tense, right? This statement right now should give you a hint about that. So what do, kids? We use our modal verb followed by the word be and then the ing form. So it might be raining in Japan right now. Okay? It, modal verb might, be followed by the ing form of the main verb raining. Okay, let's try one more quiz. Students, tell me over here. They have been gone for 2 hours. They blank be lost. Should I use can or could here, kids? Now, they have been gone for 2 hours, right? This thing has already happened. What I'm talking about, the incident that I'm talking about has already happened. So it's in the past tense. Remember, kids, past tense means I will use the verb could and not can. I hope that you remember this, students. Let's quickly move on and let's summarize all that we have learned today, right? As you know, we learned about modal verb, students, which, number one, do not change form depending on the subject. Number two, always use with a bare infinitive except for used to and have to. And we also learned how to use them in the three basic tenses. So now, kids, before I end this session, I want to remind you all once again of this amazing app, of our ODA Class app, right? Like I said, it's a live learning app, so you can come to class, you ask your questions during class, you get them answered, you come learn with us, come have fun with us. And for this purpose, we have our crash course, right? Starting on Monday, it is a week-long program during which you will have 3 maths and then 3 science classes, all conducted by our group of master teachers. And apart from this, you will have your own personal mentor teacher who will be there to help you no matter what doubts you have. Whether your doubt is in the session, or whether it's in the homework, or the quizzes that we provide to you, or even if it's in the modules and the textbooks that we give you for extra reference. So now, to enroll in this course, you can simply click on the link in the description box below and enroll for rupees 29, 39 or 49 depending on your grade. Come on with me, students, and I will tell you what is the best part about this. It is that you've been answering questions for me right now, yes, but you haven't received a reward. On the other hand, students, on the ODA Class app, whenever you answer my questions, right, you'll be winning some coins, which means, number one, there will be a lot more quizzes. Number two, there will be lots of rewards as well. And then once you have enough coins, right, you can redeem them in the ODA Mall. You can get a water bottle or a smartphone, a speaker, whatever you'd like, kids. I hope you like the session. Kids, if you have enjoyed the video, you can like and share. And also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you all, students, and I will be seeing you all very soon, hopefully in the crash course. Bye for now, kids.